computer, and then we're gonna go live on the Book of Face.
Oh, okay.
Hold on for a second because I can't see you. So I'm waiting on this to start up over here, and then I'm gonna tag you over here. Then I'm gonna go back to Zoom, and if you want to, you can look at Facebook. That way, if somebody say it.
Yeah, I started to get my Bluetooth headset out of the car.
Okay.
But I don't know how that's gonna sound on here.
Today's day.
Do I sound any different without the headphones in?
Um, I mean, your audio's got a little echo on it, but that's
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah, that's why. Won't be doing that.
I mean, it's nothing. There you go. I'm finna tag you in it if I can.
Okay.
It's always funny when it pop up. Then I can see myself. I'm gonna just tag Edward. All right. There you go. Check that out. So you'll have to tell me if anything crazy going on Facebook because I won't be able to see it.
I won't. I can't see it either because if I go look at Facebook,
Okay. Well, I have to go. I
then
go back and forth.
then you won't
So
see me.
yeah, we have to go back and forth. So, anyways, man. So here we are, April the 12th, 2021. Let's unpack the day, man. It's a lot that went on today, man. I can't
Indeed.
even really sum it all up, man. Because technically Saturday night when it happened, well, no, Sunday night when Devontae Wright situation went down, I was asleep. So I got on the train and, like I normally do this morning, read the news, kind of just catching up and unpacking, man. So I heard about it. Then I heard it was in Minneapolis or Minnesota or whatever, about 10 miles away from the Derek Chauvin trial. Now, for those of you who don't talk to me on a regular, y'all don't know that I'm following the Derek Chauvin trial, like as in listening or watching some portion of it all day long while at work and even at home. Like today, I watched all day of it. So, and as a black man, man, today was a bit much. Um, it was a lot today. I don't know about you, but it was a lot for me, man. Uh, Philandus Floyd, which is George Floyd's youngest brother, took the stand today as the prosecution was wrapping up their case, man, and he took the stand. I don't know what kind of timing this was. I don't know what kind of God's timing this was, but he took the stand like almost as the police chief from Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, was releasing that body cam footage, man. And after seeing the body cam footage, and then they put a picture up of George Floyd in his mother's arms, his deceased mother's arms. Man, when I told you, man, I almost, well, no, not almost, I fell to my knees, man, and I wept, dog, because I didn't know what else to do, man. I was just, as a black man, I was filled so much emotion that I didn't know what to do, man. I don't know if I pray. I was just like, man, what is going on? And why is this happening? And why is nobody really wanting to acknowledge this, man? It's crazy to me. And so it's just been a lot, man. It's been a lot. I don't know, I'm not sure. I know we talked a little bit about it, but I'm not sure how much of it, you know, you've been abreast. But I know we talked about it earlier, and you have some opinions. But that's kind of my wrap up for the day, man.
And when it comes to that court case, I haven't been following it every day because I'm I'm so mentally beat up when it comes to those things that I have to, try to give myself a break from it and just hope and pray for the outcome that it should be.
Right, right. I can, I can definitely, I can definitely see that, man. I just, for me to keep up with me, yeah, it is. It's a lot of stress, but I feel like at some point that keeps me going. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't let me go weary because I'm like uh, Mr. Um, Mr. Wright, Mr. Floyd, they can no longer continue this fight. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, and somebody has to continue this fight, man. We've been fighting this fight for years and years and years, man, and we have to continue. The good people can't grow weary in this well doing that we're trying to do, man, because it's scary. It's scary to raise kids, man, daughters, sons, because you shot and killed a man thinking it was a taser and it was a gun. And yeah, he had a warrant, whatever, because, and I don't know, this probably may not go over very well, but a white boy goes and shoots two Asian spies up and kills 8 people, and he's apprehended. A white boy walks into a church and shoots 8 black individuals while they praying. He gets apprehended and taken to Burger King. A white boy walks into a movie theater during a movie, shoots it up, and I can't even remember. But he's apprehended, man. But I can't have a warrant. I can't forget to flick my blinker. I can't forget to do this. I can't forget to do that. I got to wonder, and here come Freaky now. I got to wonder what's finna happen. You know what I'm saying? When this
Mhm.
stop happens. So man, it's a lot. So we're gonna kind of
I mean, yes, it's definitely a lot, and we now knowing how our parents felt raising us in
freaky.
the 80s and 90s.
Joe, good
What
evening,
it
good
is.
morning.
Go
What y'all doing, man?
man, go ahead, Dante. Go ahead, Dante. Dante
I know
um
that.
was expounding on, what was going on for him today. And to bring you up to speed there, Clevinator, we just, man, we unpacking the day, man. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot that went on today. And so we just unpacking it, man, because a lot of people are going to compartmentalize what went on, and they're not gonna say much. But like I was telling Dante, and I mentioned, I just, man, at one point, man, when Philandus Floyd was testifying in the Chauvin trial, and that was subsequently the timing lined up to where they had just released that body cam footage from Minnesota. Like I just finished watching the video, and then he was up there and he broke down when they had showed a picture of his older brother and his deceased older brother and deceased mom. And man, I just got down on my knees, man, and I wept because I didn't know what else to do. I felt helpless. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm looking at somebody who looks like me. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
That's no longer here for some foolishness, man. When it all boils down to it, for just some straight foolishness, man. So I was just kind of getting Dante's thoughts of, of the day and how he's compartmentalizing it, or not even just how he's dealing with it. And I'll pose that same, just on the aspect of how you dealing with it today and just what happened, and just everything, man, because it's been rough, not only as men but as Black men, because there's this degree of helplessness that is there, that, I mean, whether we want to admit it or not, it's there. But so how are we dealing with that?
is that a question for me or for Dante to finish?
It's for you. It's for you.
As far as coming into today, I wouldn't acknowledge to exactly what had happened, and that you guys were talking about it. Of course, I had to get up to speed based on you guys' conversation, exactly what happened, and then I was asking you what video are y'all talking about based on the circumstances of what happened today. And for the world and people out there that don't know, my profession is I am a law enforcement officer. A lot of times that's frowned upon. It could be frowned upon today, frowned upon tomorrow, or frowned upon yesterday. I look at it that is my profession. And I excel in professionalism to address the elephant in the room, to be on this platform of the subject of what we're talking about today. Do know demographically I am African American first. I came out like this, exposed to the world. That is the DNA, that is everything that I am created to be. No matter if I'm filling out any forms, any applications, or anything like that, I am African American, I am Black first. No matter what I got on, no matter what I'm doing. Although when I dress different to address my profession, I don't forget where I came from. And I can't Monday night, Sunday night quarterback the event, but I can try to shed light on answers of what should or could be done, as far as if we're brainstorming. I mean, because just like fellas, I get tired of having these conversations, just like everybody else. We sick and tired of being sick and tired of addressing the same subject over and over and over again. And we talk about it a lot. Y'all experience a lot through my experiences. And after seeing what had happened, I mean, it's embarrassing to be in a position to wear a uniform or be behind a badge. And I'm just speaking for me, because I can only address myself. I can't account for everybody else's actions or how they feel. Opinionated. The expectation should be and need to be and always be higher than the outcome of taking somebody's life. That's the day I regret, to have to take somebody's life, but yet, we put ourselves in a position that you may be placed in a position. I'm not saying all these positions is right based on the elephant in the room, No difference from you signing up for military service, James, you know, being in the Navy, or, you know, me being in the Army, to understand the mission and the duty. But when I address that, we know our rules of engagement of war. We know that. We know what the enemy looks like and stuff like that. So yet we come home and I put myself in the same position. I mean, it shouldn't be the enemy. We're there to mediate any and all situations and to mediate and find out a problem that the person dictated the position that they're in. No matter if it's a warrant, no matter if it's domestic violence, no matter if it's a traffic stop, you're there to intervene, and they're designed to either make them drive more safer, to be more attentive to what they're doing, to reduce collisions, to mediate a family problem, to sit there and make them accountable for their paper action that we ain't got nothing to do with. We as law enforcement officers, you know, we're that taxi and that mediator in the middle. I mean, you can call it that protect and serve. I hate using that jargon. That jargon came out of California as a slogan, and we bit off that slogan, and it is what it is as a stereotype of what all cops should be doing, protecting and serving. But that's not the subject of matter. The subject of matter is, you know, the situation where officer, I mean, y'all probably already talked about it, but what the video shows is an officer with a firearm, and the officer yells taser. Obviously, it's not a taser. She discharges one round. You know, unfortunately, the young man succumbed from that injury caused by the officer. And the only thing, again, I can't quarterback it, is I have no excuse. The actions are what they are. It's negligent rather than accidental. And a person that's supposed to be a profession, you should be able to decipher one from another, meaning a intermediate weapon to, you know, a use of deadly force. It's two different things. By all means, I'm not perfect. I never said I ever been in a situation that makes me perfect. I'm not perfect, no matter if I wear a uniform or not. And I hate it for the officer itself. I don't know her motive, her mindset, her training, her history. I don't know what call she just got off of prior to that. I don't even know her heart rate on that call. I'm not saying that it was elevated or not. You know, excited delirium. I mean, I don't know. Risk over reward. You know, across the country, we've been teaching de-escalation. You know, and again, it's hard to quarterback after a situation has happened. And it's hard to say, what should I have done different after it has happened? You know, so the de-escalate training, it puts you in front of it. You know, and that's not a situation where, oh, I was in fear of my life or anything like that. And I'm just saying what's been out there of words, even going through the trial and other trials or other situations like this that you would hear. And I mean, y'all can come back and ask me any questions of the whole, am I or have I ever been in fear for my life or any situation or context of what would I do different? Y'all more than welcome. I don't know if we're live with questions or anything like that, but I'm quite sure people got questions. I can't see them. And if you do got questions, go ahead and ask, and appropriately at appropriate time, we will address them one by one. I'll make that promise that they will be addressed one by one. Maybe not at a fast pace or fast, but I will get you an answer. If I don't know the answer, we can mediate around it. And some people may like me or dislike me for having this conversation or even doing what I do. Because me being a cop, I lost a lot of friends. Even when I was military police, I lost a lot of friends because I was military police. I can only change a mind one conversation, one person, one contact at a time. I can't be everywhere. And the same tone that I'm talking now, I talk to everybody. Is there scared people in this profession? Yes. Is everybody good at what they think they can do? No. Should everybody do what needs to be done? No, they shouldn't do it. You know, should there be more training? Yes. Ain't nothing like training. Keep train. Nothing wrong with that. Again, I can't muscle what happened today shouldn't happen, hands down, just like with a lot of other cases and things that go on. But addressing what we're talking about today, it shouldn't happen. And, you know, I had the floor for a minute. You're more than welcome to
Oh man, you
engage in
good.
that.
But I
You
mean,
know, man.
within this incident with young Dante, and we carrying the same name, different spelling, but on that Sam Brown belt that every officer wears, your firearm is on your dominant hand side, and that taser is on your non-dominant hand side. So when you are reaching for said taser, you have to cross your body to relieve it of its holster.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I wear my belt is set up the same. I'm right hand dominant. My firearms on my right side. Weak side is my taser. Cross draw, or I can draw with my left hand, which is kind of uncomfortable to do, but you can do it with your left hand effectively. And the reason for that, it across the board, it wasn't always like that, because you had situations like today, you know, where people had matched up, drawing their taser, drawing their firearm from their dominant side, because it was easier. It's easier. Not that it was faster, it was easier.
Right.
I can be just as fast with my weak side as my dominant side. Dexterity, it feels different. Weight disposition is different. You know, but under, you know, I can't make an excuse. I do know under stress, one can get tunnel vision, blackout, and they can have these outer body survival experiences. I don't know if that's what happened today, but when that becomes contagious, sometimes you need to back up and look at the big picture. Is this for me?
Right.
And only I know that. I mean, I know plenty of officers that's been through training, then been through academy, been training and quit because they say this ain't for me. But you know what? I respect that. I don't look at them as a quitter. I look at them as being honest and understanding the fact that they are more. I mean, I don't even know if it's like fear induced for them that they can't do it, or is it overwhelming? I really don't know. I never got to the point where I was able to intervene and question somebody that actually said that this wasn't for me. So I can't.
I mean,
I don't even assume.
For most of them, it could be all the above under that umbrella,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
also knowing their limitations.
Right.
Everyone. That's why you have certain people that are great at certain things. No one is walking around saying that they can be LeBron James or uh, or Dr. Kenitra Fitz.
All right.
Those people do those jobs for a reason, because that is what they are great at, and that's what they were put on this earth to do.
Yeah.
You know, and at one point in time, I almost gave policing up. I really did. You can say I wanted to quit. I mean, at one point in time, I just felt like it wasn't for me. Others, I'm not a me, I, my type of guy, but others, you know, it's more of a purpose. They would tell me, you know, it's not difficult. It really isn't. I mean, because everything is of almost repetition as far as problematic. Of course, you're just putting facts on paper for the most part, or you getting everything under control for the most part, and then you're getting each side of a story. Then you put it on paper. It's either criminal or non-criminal. If it's non-criminal, I give legal advice. If it's criminal, we address it. if to point where if it's a felony and we're going to represent the state. If not, we keep moving, and either the victim or the complainant or both, because they can be both, they go seek charges independently. That's it. And I just want to do this as safe as possible, as more quickly and efficient as possible, because I can't be there all day. So I'm trying to build a 15-minute relationship and get the truth out. And everybody don't tell me the truth because I wear this uniform. They don't. A lot of times they don't even want people to go to jail. They just want it or whatever it is to stop at that moment. Sometimes they want that +1. You know, they might be intimidated with whomever, male or female. And I'm their +1. I'm that muscle. So now they can flex. And then after that, that's it. They just want to flex and go on. They don't want to see us put nobody in handcuffs. I mean, it's been situations to where, you know, officers have made arrests and that same person that want to help jump on your back. Because you might be stopping the money, the food, the water, the shelter. They just want the abuse to stop it. It's abusive situation. And that's not every case, but that's just a situation, speaking of encounter. I mean, it's a multitude of cops, you know, and I mean, and that's just us addressing this taser to gun situation. It's all kind of other stuff that, you know, I'm not saying, you know, it's what you want to say, you know, two wrongs don't make it right. You know what I'm saying? And situations change to the point where an aggressor can change, just like I'm saying they can become a victim. And a victim can become an aggressor, and it can constantly change. You know.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, unfortunate that that this here incident even occurred. And as you said at the beginning, once you jumped on, training, 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 more training, and some more training is to be done, and done on you know, every occasion that it can happen.
Right. Absolutely.
Because
you know.
it's just like, you know, you can't get to the range of pulling your weapon dry firing. No, noticing your way around your Sam Brown with your eyes closed. You know where everything is.
Right.
So hopefully, you know, I do know that, you know, different law enforcement departments train as most people would hope or assume that they train the same way. They don't. They they all law enforcement agencies do not train the same at all.
No, they don't.
And unfortunately, with most local law enforcement, a hairdresser has to go to cosmetology school longer than that local law enforcement officer has to go to a police academy to become an officer.
Yeah, and I know we spoke about it a little bit on Marco Polo today. I was just saying, and I was looking, man, and I'm not saying, you know, that state troopers or Department of Public Safety officers or whatever, they're just the nicest guys on the block. But it seems like when we see these instances, it seems like it's your local PD, and it seems to me, just from looking at the quick numbers, that your local police departments don't have as much training as, per se, your departments of public safety and state police and state troopers. And I'm like, the amount of incidents that we have through local law enforcement as opposed to state agencies. Well, what are these state agencies doing that in training that maybe we need to look at getting into local law enforcement? Is it the length of time, you know, that they're able to spend on certain subjects? what is it? I mean, because we have to have some sort of solution to this issue, because the issue as it stands now cannot continue in the direction that it is going.
And to answer that question, it is, James, all of the above. It's more training and being placed in more stressful situations during that training. You have a lot of local law enforcement officers during their police academy, they're allowed to go home and get that relaxation and unwind from their day at the academy. And then you have other law enforcement agencies that you are there, just like you were in boot camp in the military, you are there 24 hours a day. So that not being able to go home and unwind and relax, lay in your own bed, have a nice long shower. We all know in the academy or in that boot camp, you got a smooth hot 20, 15 to 20 seconds to wash your body
Man,
and get
man,
out of there.
don't be done messed up, because you might not get one.
Nah.
And then there's that too.
You know what
and
I'm saying?
and to create that type of stress within the academy, and I can speak for the Michigan State uh, troopers in their training academy, they create a highly stressful environment on purpose and then begin to train you. You were stressed before the training started.
All right.
Well, the moment that you woke up that morning, you were stressed before you even made it to that classroom or to that training tank or into the gym to prepare for the day training. You were already stressed the moment your eyes woke up. When that am I saying it right? Is it Reveille that plays in the morning?
Man, reveille.
Oh, when you hear that sound,
Man,
your blood pressure shoots
immediately
up
through the roof. Immediately through the roof.
immediately. You gotta get to it right then and there.
You know, 'cause they showed finna come disturb whatever peace you thought you had.
Yes, and you went to sleep without peace.
You know?
And again, like I said, they created a highly stressful environment on purpose, which I respect because they want to make sure they want to try to create more stress while you're in the academy than what you could possibly face on the street. That is their attempt, which no, that's not possible. Is you're in a controlled environment. Once you get on the street, these things are out of your control or anyone else's control. Only thing you can control is yourself and how you react to these situations. But they do a great job at the attempt to make it lifelike situation, and
Yeah,
they do it for 22 to 24 weeks.
yeah. I
And the
mean,
only time you get to go home is on Saturday, and then you right back on Sunday.
yeah. I mean, and that's with boot camp. You know, people always ask me, and I ain't gonna get into everything. People always ask me, well, what do I need to know from boot camp? And there's a level of stress from doing something new.
Hmm.
They take you out of your environment. They make you look like everybody else, and they proceed to berate you. Now, the thing about it is, and what I tell most people is, you can be doing in boot camp, you can be doing exactly what they told you, to a T, dotting the I. But because that is that day for them to talk about that, that is what they are going to harp on. And that creates that momentary, did I do that right? But it instills to you that it says, all right, go do this. You know you did it right. If he questioned it, whatever, or she questioned it, whatever, because I know I did it right. I don't have to wonder. It's all, and I mean, I feel like that's what we're all talking about. It's a muscle memory. Brain is a muscle. Brain power.
Mhm.
If you don't use it, it atrophies. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so in these instances, like you were talking about cross drawn, it's muscle memory. You know immediately when you reaching across your body, your mind, without you thinking, your mind is telling you, oh, that's my taser, or it should be. If it's not, then you need to go back to practicing. I'm a big proponent of muscle memory, from being a firearms instructor in the military. I'm a big proponent of muscle memory because in times of high stress and freaky, we talked about this the other day, you revert back to your training. Don't care what you say, you're not going to convince me of anything different. If you
Absolutely.
weren't if you weren't trained, it's going to show. If you're trained wrong, it's going to show. If you were trained great, it's going to show. You are in a stressful situation, what your actions are. I don't care. And today, that spoke volumes to me. And that says to me, and this is my words, this ain't nobody else's words, that showed me that you were a veteran of 25 years and you've been a coward all 25 years. Because if that type of situation had you that shook, you've been a coward the whole time you've been a police officer, man. I mean that with the utmost respect. Because you did do 25 years, and I don't know what you did, but you did 25 years, and that was your explanation. I would, and I would have preferred that it never happened at all. But if a 1 year, a 2 year, a probationary police officer makes that, okay, maybe he hadn't been trained, whatever. But after 25 years, you making a grievous error such as that, man, that was like the gut punch of all gut punches. When I read that article tonight that she was a 22 or a 25-year veteran, I was like, so you can't even really blame it on you just being out here, you being brand spanking new, ma'am. You've been doing this for a while,
I
so
mean,
you
real quick, uh, her being a 25-year veteran, it makes sense to me by just hearing that. Because if you take that officer that is 2 years out of the academy who's being training, because they're still trying to prove themselves and still under some sort of probation, they're still going through those reps of what should be done in certain situations. 25 years. She's possibly, again, opinion and some type of assumption that she hasn't had to pull a weapon in God knows when, or reach for anything in God knows when, because we don't know her rank. So she may not have had to have been put in those situations in a very, very long time. And it's easy for her to walk in and pass her the, the what you have to pass, Claire, firing your weapon every so often.
As a qual, weapons qual.
Yeah,
Talking about
yeah,
at the firing range.
qualification. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, that's easy for her to go and pass something of that nature. But she hasn't.
Yeah.
She it's possible that she has not been put into any situations like that on the street.
and Cliff, correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm off, but as you become a seasoned officer in the field, what you don't have in maybe physical attributes, some of that mental is supposed to be able to pick up and get you through situations that ordinarily would have went left. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, what am I getting as a taxpayer? What am I getting for 25 years? If you can't walk the situation down, before it gets to that point, and then when it gets to that point, you accidentally shoot somebody. What am I getting as a taxpayer? You're not evolved. I mean, I know you're not gonna have the physical. I know you're not gonna have the physical attributes that you had when you hired in at 22. But what you lose in the physical, I'm hoping that you gaining in the mental, right?
Hitting on that note of experience, I'll speak of myself rather than assuming or speaking to somebody else. Again, I hate to be a my type of person, but
Right.
I'll put myself on the platform, put myself on the pedestal. I work for a couple of different agencies. I've been trained by a handful of different people, all the way down to academy, basic training, as far as the military, police, and the experience of the trainers or mentors. Over time, some can teach bad habits, and they're not corrected habits. Working with my experience, I did 5 years military police, and I'm right at 11 years in civilian law enforcement. Law enforcement every day is changing per policy, what you can and cannot do. At some point in time, you were working the road without a taser, and then tasers were introduced to. That's something new you had to train with. Now how much training do you get with a taser? It's not as much as with your firearm. That's just me being honest. You pass your taser certification. Sometimes you do a lateral if you still got that original certificate. You're maybe able to, go through the taser course without proper exposure. Sometimes they daisy chain for you to feel the exposure. Sometimes you actually you go through a taser course where they fire
The lightning.
and you ride the lightning, stuff like that. But certain agencies may have that training quarterly. Some may have it yearly. Some may have it once you're certified, you're certified. You got fine and gross motor skill. I'm just talking about this training itself. Certain things are fine motor skill. Some things are gross, where you got that muscle memory. But what's perishable and stress? What's your most perishable skill under stress? It's gonna be that fine motor skill. Gross is off of muscle memory. And, I'm not a profession expert, witness expert at nothing through training or anything like that. I'm just speaking off of experience of having training and trainers and experiences. So you are as good as you want to be, ultimately. And if you're not, then what you gonna do when you go home? You gonna practice on certain things to be proficient, or you might watch a few videos, not out of humor, but out of after action review. What can I do to make things better or better outcome? Ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm in a position where, I put on all this gear to protect myself from the outside world just to get back to my family. Because me as an officer, I could be fired upon and just 'cause somebody don't like me. But I'm not going to entertain all of that, because that's not the elephant in the room we're addressing. We're not. I understand the position I put myself when I put on my uniform every day. I do. And it's a little bit different by being African American and wearing a badge at the same time when you deal with the public's perception. I choose to put myself in that position. And back to the subject at hand of training having years of training, you could have years of bad habits. I don't know if this is the case, but like I
Right.
said, going from department to department, I've had a bad habit at one department, and then when I got exposed to a different department, that department didn't go with their policy. So I had to change, and I had to focus on that hard change. Otherwise, I'll get written up, or ultimately, a category 1, 2, or 3, suspended without pay, or ultimately fired if I was in violation of what it was. Not every category and the severity of the punishment is different compared on what you were doing, but everything had an action, and it was a reaction per policy for it to protect the organization of civil liability and lawsuits. Some people, you've been to the range, James. Everybody, we all been to the range. With all our training, you got some people there are there to learn, and then you got the hot shots, and people that think they know it all and stuff like that. And like I said, we all act different under stress. Like I said, I'm not perfect. Stressful things happen. The main thing is you just gotta to put yourself in the utmost position to be able to excel in that situation. And the main thing is coming back home. And the main thing in each situation is for everybody to go home.
Mhm.
I want to put myself in a position to make this arrest effective without nobody getting hurt. It's a good day. No
Yeah.
matter the totality of the circumstance or the nature of the call prior to or history. That's what we want. Everybody want to have their judgment day in court. Can't get to court.
And as much as we all dislike the outcome of this situation, is I'm definitely not going to come to back up that officer, but I do know we all are human, and in certain situations, one would hope and wish that a police officer would act and conduct themselves in a certain way. A lot can, and then there's a lot that can't.
Right.
And unfortunately, come to find out, and it's always finding out the hard way, she was one that couldn't. Or
The main thing is never
not
forgetting.
that she just couldn't, she didn't
Right.
in that moment.
And I hate
It
it.
could have been a million times beforehand that she did police the proper way. But it only takes that one.
It freaking sucks. Condolences to, their family.
Mhm.
And she probably hands down, I know she feel like shit right now, on that end. I think the article read up accidental discharge. I mean, at the same point in time, identifying what you got is more negligent. I'm not the judge. Who am I to judge? Again, just like I keep reiterating, I'm not perfect. I'm not.
Mhm.
But I know my profession is that I'm placed in a multitude of situations to where, I'm there to enforce the ultimate outcome, law abiding. I don't want nobody to be in that situation, and I don't want nobody to put themselves in a situation for anybody to succumb from any injury. At the end of the day, like I said, we can quarterback all day. I wasn't there. I wasn't her. I wasn't her mind. I don't know how she was thinking. I don't know. I only know what I seen and what I heard. But at the same time, I do understand if I ever place myself in a situation, I'll be held accountable for my action, no matter the outcome. I understand that when I joined the military, I knew the sacrifice and the outcome of ultimately being deployed to war or wherever I might not come back. Ultimately, we place ourselves in the position of being a peace officer. You might be exposed out there to road, and if you place yourself in situation, that's why there's policy of accountability. That if I do this, and in black and white it says that, and if I do that, I'm held accountable. That's in policy, you know, but in law, state law, and federal law, I mean, there's certain things that's in black and white. And ultimately, if whoever places himself in that situation and ultimately become that outcome of what them words and those words say, it's accountability. I mean, I can't say anything different, or anybody else that would be different or is not different. That's the ultimate outcome. You know, the only thing I hope and wish, you know, that everybody think about everything that's all the way done, even to the caliber of today. And I think, I don't know how training is now in academy, but the now situations need to be addressed. You know, not the old. These need to be intervening training techniques. Is ultimately, like you said, you can't recreate, you know, stress in a controlled environment. But at the same time, before they sign up, let them sign that dotted line that we gonna go 50%. That if you 50% weak, I'm 50% break you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
I was just getting ready. I was just getting ready to mention that, and I don't know what the Army's version of it is, Freaky, but I know, you know, in Navy, you know, boot camp, we had this joint called battle stations, and you had to get through battle stations, and battle stations, they was gonna summon you at some 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and you was gonna run, and you was gonna do everything that you had done in boot camp in this 24-hour period with little to no sleep.
and I get that sleep deprivation. I mean, honestly, just to blow y'all mind, like some of the training I've had, band camp was harder. Flint Northern's band camp. You know, and I mean back then, you know, I mean, it's frowned upon now with the hazing and all that stuff. I mean, it built tougher.
Character.
It did. If it wasn't for band camp and football camp, honestly, it made, and you probably can contest to, you know, certain camps that it made boot camp easy.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah, absolutely.
we already had stressful
Yeah.
experiences
Yeah.
to
I
be
mean,
able to under influence.
I
You
mean,
know,
yeah.
and I mean, I'm not doubting nobody's training or anything like that, but somebody got to constantly be on the giving and the receiving end of how and what can be done different. And if everywhere in the world ain't nobody doing that, we got a freaking problem. That's just a blanket. Like I said, I'm not perfect, but I would hope and wish that every day that if I know that I am at some type of academy, that tomorrow I am going to digest this subject with everybody. And if you don't like it, there go the door.
Right. Right. Because I
But
mean, people, I don't know. I think people try to sanitize these issues, man. And by sanitize, I mean they feel like
water it down.
if I don't know the facts, then it don't hurt as bad. Or if I don't watch this or if I don't watch that, you can't sanitize this because no matter how you water it down, how you cut it, this is straight laced in the truth. And with this straight lacedness, if that's even a word, you know what I'm saying? People, you know,
It's
the
understood.
yeah, like this is life or death, man. Like you can't sanitize that. There ain't no cute way to say it. It ain't no cute way to look at and experience body cam footage where the use of force is being where you're seeing the use of force. The use of force is not pretty. And it's definitely not pretty when it's not used in the right context.
Mhm.
And so I think we got to get away from, and this is just me, man. And I can be rigid, but man, we got to get away from that. Hurt my feelings. That made me feel sad. Like it did today. Today made me feel sad, man. But at the end of the day, fuck your feelings when my loved one just died.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And we got to quit sanitizing that stuff, man. We got to watch some things that we don't want to watch. Because every slavery movie to come out, we're going to watch that, or we're going to quote every line from The Color Purple or whatever it is. We're going to quote all of them. When it comes to the real life stuff that we can affect some change on, get with that same grit and how you bit that bullet and watched 12 Years a Slave and Roots and all of that. Let's watch these trials and let's watch these press conferences. Let's read these news articles. Let's read this legislation. Let's find out what we can do. Because like I said, and I think this might have been when you was coming in, Freaky, we can't continue like this. It's impossible to continue like this and it be civil. That's what I'm saying, because whether people want to admit or not, this country was built on violence. So if we don't take this thing and grab this thing and start trying to mitigate this, man, we just bound to continue to repeat this cycle. And one of these days, and I'm telling y'all now, I wholeheartedly believe I'm dealing with the kids of the next generation, and I'm telling you unequivocally, they feel like they've been disrespected, taken advantage of, any of that garbage. This next generation ain't letting it slide. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to mitigate that by doing what we can now to not put them in that situation later.
Mm.
So man, that's my whole takeaway from today and and just unpacking everything, man, is let's stop trying to sanitize that everybody good at their job.
Right.
Let's stop trying to sanitize that you doing everything you supposed to do. Because I ride around Flint all day, every day, and I see it. Let's quit trying to sanitize that your baby ain't out here terrorizing the city that you grew up in. Let's keep it funky. But we're gonna have to do something about that. We're gonna have to make some decisions on both ends and make some decisions, say, all right, enough is enough. It's enough bloodshed on both sides by good and bad. We got to figure something out, man, because I just feel like we on a road to destruction.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, that's my takeaway, from just unpacking and all, having this conversation, especially like I said, with the crew, and then with the inside look that we have kind of through Freaky's eyes, man, because a
Like
lot
I said, I'm an open book.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect by all means. Like I said, I just hate it to always like to wrap up an elephant in the room subject with condolences to, someone, who's lost their life, succumb on based of in a profession. Because like you said, good or bad, I mean, on both ends of the wick, it's burning. And what are we gonna do when it meet in the middle?
Man, bro is on his way to work, man, and he kind of stepping on some toes. And I'm gonna read this to y'all. We love to educate ourselves on the easy and unnecessary. Man, I mean, hi damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's an abundance of truth within
To
that.
that. To that. And by the way, if y'all happen to see me look over here, it's because I have CNN on, so because I'm trying to see what's going on in Minneapolis. And the crazy thing is, so with all this that went on today, and we won't get to this today because that's a whole nother hour. But we didn't even touch on the body cam footage from December with the lieutenant and the traffic stop at the gas
Oh,
station.
yeah, that's
We like, yeah, that's another day, another dollar. Like
we
yeah.
get to it.
I
We'll
mean,
definitely get to it.
like in the horrendous nature in which that was, like it still doesn't compare to what went on today. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he got a
Well,
little pepper spray. You know what I'm saying? But man,
yeah,
that could have went.
but
That could have went left instantly.
but even on the video we got to see today, even in 2015, in I forget where it was, but in 2015, a was it a volunteer deputy killed
Oh yeah, in
a guy named
Oklahoma.
Eric. Okay, Eric
Yeah, in
Harris,
Oklahoma. I think so. I
and
think that's what it was.
he shot him while the other deputies were already holding him on the ground. And his statement after he shot him
That was my taser.
was, "Oh, I shot him. I'm sorry."
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, I don't know the facts of that, but
But what has everyone really riled up is because they don't see anything happening for these actions. Well, this volunteer deputy ended up with second degree manslaughter and was sentenced 4 years in prison. It's these incidents that's happening and people are not seeing consequences for them
yeah,
immediately.
yeah,
So
like
yes, the being sent home would pay. No, because I can't get sent home with pay for doing those same actions and I'm not an officer. I get to go to jail first and be bonded out to go home.
yeah, it's wild.
That's what we can start there.
For,
Y'all can conduct your investigation while said person is not at home in the comfort of their own home until this situation is resolved.
Freaky D Grady says you look just like your pops, by the way.
Grade A. I see
Man,
you out
great.
there.
Hey, yeah, yes, sir. Yes,
Hey.
sir, man. So
All
I
right.
gotta purchase some of that merchandise.
yeah,
We
you gotta
all
get some of that
we gonna rock it.
that attire, man. Hey, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put that joint on the
Members
YouTube
only.
video.
All right, but closing, man. I'm gonna go ahead and close. Our momentum is slowing down emotionally. I mean, because ultimately we know the outcome of today. Somebody lost their life, and we hate to say that. That's the fact. So you got a family mourning and in grief. You got a lot of angry people, emotional outlet. I don't even know what's going on. You got the news on, they probably tearing the city up because that's their emotional outlet. The main thing is just like I hate to digest any other situation that's already have happened, but it comes down to each individual, administration, because across the country training is completely different. It is. I'm not, arrogant of the where I'm at. I mean, y'all see what y'all see and y'all know what I do and what we talk about, stuff like that. And I know here that we get in multiple situations where shots are fired, but not by police. And I'm just accounting for here. And how can everybody else result in that same outcome? I mean, you got to do what's necessary and have the mental mindset to have that ultimate outcome. I don't want to go home consciously knowing that I shot at somebody. But of course, we all got survival instinct, that we all go home. That's a motto. But at the same time, I'm not being an individual of any organization when I say we all is everybody.
It's all inclusive.
Just like I said, I'm there to intervene, criminal, non-criminal. If it's non-criminal, it ain't no reason for me to be here. Y'all can argue all y'all want. You can even tear up your own property because it's yours. I'm excuse myself. I don't know individually how people think. Y'all know how I think because we talk on a daily. After I get off a serious situation, how serious it is. I might water it down emotionally with how I'm talking to you, but it's more serious on y'all note because y'all be like, if he just tell me he just did this, that, and the third. Just like I told y'all last week, I was in an accident. I said minor, y'all said how minor because y'all know how I am. I mean, ultimately, any accident can be detrimental.
Right.
But at the same time, emotionally and stress, it ain't that I train myself to be, calm and relaxed or anything like that. But over time and experiences, you do become in control, and that becomes a gross motor skill than a fine motor skill. I can tell you my first vehicle pursuit, my first foot pursuit, I probably was screaming on the radio. However, you can imagine me screaming on the radio. Change of voice, tone, voice, high inflection and stuff like that, excited because I was young at it. You trying to get it all out and stuff like that. It's not because I was, feared. It's just I was inexperienced, till now. Unfortunately, when I still get in foot pursuit, I still key up excited. But when I'm in a vehicle pursuit, I'm calm. You might think I'm hosting a radio show. I am calm. One time I was in a vehicle pursuit. Somebody didn't even know I was in a vehicle pursuit because I was just monotone on the radio. But it comes with training, and you got to want to train and change. Because if you can't hear me, you can't hear me. And then if I'm yelling, I'm not in control of myself. So now I'm on the radio, I'm driving, I'm trying to make a decision while I'm driving, the public safety. And also the risk over the reward. Is it even worth chasing this person? So if I'm yelling on the radio, I'm not even in control of myself. Even if I'm yelling at somebody, all that becomes tunnel vision. And you can take it how you want it, put it where you at. But when you are yelling at somebody, it's all tunnel vision. And, that's self-explanatory. But again, like I said, the emotional change shift, condolences to the family. I don't even know the young man's name besides you saying his name is spelled like yours, Dante, pronounced the same, but spelled different. Ultimately condolences to his family and stuff like that. So I don't know his history. I'm not saying whatever he done or what he did, no matter what he done or did, is worth him losing his life. That's not up to me to make that decision.
Right.
And that's definitely why we won't even care to even find out what or why, because it doesn't matter at the
Right.
end of the day.
Nope.
Does not matter. And I don't care. So,
No.
again, just as Clef said, condolences to the young man's family. I hope that justice is served on this incident. Um, and hope everybody else, have a great week. I'm headed back into the work week and get back on this grind.
Yeah, man. I think this was a good conversation to have. I think it was right timing, man. I just tell the people, man, be safe, be you, and look out for each other, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing. Look out, man. We all see, sometimes we see some stuff coming. Oh, well, I don't really fool with him like that, or I don't know him. Just, man, just look out for each other. Be good to each other, man. It's enough going on in the world where somebody trying to do something to us, man. Let's at least look out for each other, man. Most definitely, my prayers are with young Mr. Wright's family. I hate that they're experiencing this, man, and to my brothers and sisters in the streets of Minneapolis and Minnesota protesting, man. Be safe, be strong, be smart. Know what you want to say, know how you want to say it, and let's make a change, man. We got to, because the path that we're on, man, we can't continue. I swear we can't continue. So if you out there marching, protesting, get to it. But let's get that attention. Let's do something with it. You know what I'm saying? Be safe, man. Take care of your local businesses, man. Black owned businesses, all that stuff, man. Take care of everybody, man. I mean, I'm just saying, just as a family, dog. We all a family. It's all a human race at some point, man, because we all been in a spot, man, where we had to depend on somebody that don't look like us, especially if you've been in the military. You done had to depend on somebody that don't look necessarily like us, man. They probably got more love than some of the people we grew up with, man. So you can't make a blanket statement and say F this and F that and F them, F that. You can't do that, man. Some people can't do that because you got people that don't look like you that look out for you more than the people that look like you and that grew up next to you and you see every day in the club. So let's not be one dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Let's be multifaceted, man. And let's love on each other, man. Please like, comment, subscribe, man. This will be posted to YouTube sometime tomorrow. Hopefully, man. We like, comment, subscribe, share the video, man. And that's it. We out.
Peace.
Love y'all, bros.
Peace.
Love you
Love
too.
you, bro.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.